Skilled in both magic and warfare, the Tel Kasur, the people as elves call themselves, came to Faerûn ages ago. They live in places of ethereal beauty, ancient forests or in silvery spires glittering with fairy light, where soft music drifts through the air and gentle fragrances waft on the breeze. Elves love nature and magic, art and artistry, music and poetry, and the good things of the world. With their unearthly grace and fine features, elves appear hauntingly beautiful to humans and members of many other races. Elves can live well over 700 years, giving them a broad perspective on events that might trouble the shorter-lived races more deeply. They are more often amused than excited, and more likely to be curious than greedy. They tend to remain aloof and unfazed by petty happenstance. When pursuing a goal, however, whether adventuring on a mission or learning a new skill or art, elves can be focused and relentless. They are slow to make friends and enemies, and even slower to forget them. They reply to petty insults with disdain, and to serious insults with vengeance. Like the branches of a young tree, elves are flexible in the face of danger. They trust in diplomacy and compromise to resolve differences before they escalate to violence. Elves don't sleep, which could potentially add an interesting element to camping in BG3. Instead, they meditate deeply, remaining semi-conscious. As shown in recent gameplay footage, it will be possible to select sub-races. While there are many sub-races of elves, it's plausible that BG3 will focus on the two main sub-races, Wood Elves and High Elves. Often cited as a sub-race of elf, the Dark Elves, or in common parlance, Drow, tend to have their own category. High Elves tend to have an affinity with magic. Heirs of the mystical Feywild, High Elves value magic in all its forms, using spells to spread beauty and elegance throughout Faerûn. They receive racial bonuses of +1 to intelligence and +2 to dexterity. Their elven weapon training makes them proficient with longswords, short bows, and long bows. Their skill Dark Vision allows them to see in dark and dim conditions, albeit they cannot see in colour. They also start with one cantrip spell of your choice. Furthermore, due to their Fey ancestry, elves are resilient against being charmed and sleep magic. In contrast, Wood Elves focus more on the senses, intuition and stealth. In Faerûn, Wood Elves, also known as Wild Elves, Green Elves or Forest Elves, are reclusive and distrusting of non-elves. Wood Elves share the same weapon proficiencies as their High Elf cousins, but instead receive a bonus to their wisdom and speed. They can also attempt to hide in foliage, heavy rain, falling snow, mist and other natural phenomena. Descended from an earlier subrace of dark-skinned elves, Drow were banished from the surface world for following the goddess Lolth down the path to evil and corruption. Drow adventurers tend to be rare, although they will be available in BG3. They will receive a +1 bonus to Charisma, Dark Vision, and Drow weapon training. This should provide them with proficiency in rapiers, short swords, and crossbows. Drow do suffer from sunlight sensitivity, meaning they have disadvantage to attack rolls and wisdom perception checks in direct sunlight. However, the Illithid Tadpole might be able to circumvent those weaknesses. Drow also have a cantrip in Dancing Lights, meaning they can cast Fairy Fire and the Darkness spells. A cantrip is a spell that can be cast at will, without using a spell slot or being prepared in advance.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.